Hey fellas, how you guys doing today? I am. So there's been a couple requests to look at, or some of the ship designs that I don't know why. I'll be honest, fellas, when I design ships, they're just like, uh, yeah, I'm not OCD when it comes to stuff. So, but there's people have been asking me to upload the ship designs as they like to look at the ships. So I did. Now I uploaded it to my workshop, which is, yeah. So I put a link down in the description below to go to the workshop. I put these all on. Only my friends can use them. So if you want to use the designs, just friend me, and then you'll have access to them. I think there's 9 of them. And we started out with the very first ship that I've ever. This is the one I built when I first started playing the game, and it's made all of titanium. So it's an early game ship, and you'll see in the descriptions when I didn't write a whole bunch about them. So if you're going to use these, go into the creative, bring them up, and then you can look at them. But this is one of the. This is the first one I put up. It was just a simple titanium. I think it's like 17,000 titanium. So like I said, early game, super easy to upgrade. You take off the bottom, a bunch of open space underneath. You can change this all out. You can change the materials when you finally get to the end of the game, or to the point where you need to put shields and all that kind of stuff on it, or upgrade the actual material on the inside. All my ships are built like this. They're usually just flat. So you take off 1 or 2 plates on the bottom or on the side, and you can access the internals. So this one is probably more like probably a simple frigate. But like I said, this is all in my workshops. This was the next one I think I uploaded, which is quite a bit bigger. This is actually all titanium, about 300,000 trinium. I'm sorry, it's all trinium. So about 300,000 trinium. Once again, so my first ship I just showed you was the one I started with, and that ended up being this ship, right? And you can see that I just simply added on, changed a few things as I went, but most all of my ships ended up coming from that very first one you just saw, and that's how I ended up with all the ones that look the way they do. So this is once again a real simple ship to deal with. Take the bottom plate off, and you're into, chunks of material to work with. Same way with the top. You can take off the top pieces and just simply start accessing interior of the ship. So if you want to upgrade, by all means do that. Like I said, I was never really worried about, like, say, yaw, pitch, roll, all that kind of stuff. So, some of the stuff is not going to be what you want to use or like. So you can, by all means, change what you want and do what you want. Like I said, I'll just upload the designs and the look, and you can change them however you want. This is, for the most part, pretty basic, I guess. But I try to make, when I build these ships, these are very upgradable ships. So you can simply just, take the tops off, take the bottoms off, and you can get to them pretty quickly without having to completely dismantle the ship. And they're usually pretty small. Like this was only actually 176 blocks, but with a hull of about 180,000 and about 500,000 shields. I rely heavily on systems to make up for some of my lacks of ship design. So don't be afraid, once again, to change this up here. So that was number 2, and what was number 3? Number 3, I think, was a fighter design. I just created all of these right now. I just jumped in and picked these up here. So that's number 1. Where is number 3 at? There's 6. This is the problem with 3-dimensional space, right? Number 3, oh, there he is. He's just a little guy. Number 3 is simply a fighter design. And they'll actually say that in the description. They'll call them fighter plans because they're under 200 blocks. But obviously these are some very large ships, and they usually have less than 200 blocks because I always build in large sizes. And this is just a simple fighter design that I use on almost all of my ships for, obviously building fighters. And you can run around with it in just regular space too. I mean, it's 9,400 hull and 7,900 shields. The problem is that this one's Avorion. If you want to change these, you have to go to creative, and you'll just simply go to modify your entire ship, and you can change the entire ship to, say, trinium, right? So now this entire ship is made out of trinium. Do that in creative, and then you can export it into your actual game, if that's what you desire. So this is 3. Let's see if we can find 4. 4 is there's 4. This was probably more like a mid-game cruiser. Once again, just simply go and modify the ship to trinium. Most of the stuff is not. You're not going to be able to go to anything less than trinium because of the block the block styles. Remember, as I progressed through the universe or progressed through the galaxy, these ships were built as I went. So I'm not going to dig through layer after layer to find the individual blocks that won't translate out of trinium. But this, like I said, is mostly a trinium. I think there's only actually 49 Avorion, but just another real simple design. This is one of these. I think this was the second ship I designed. It's got a lot of block in it. Once again, only 150 blocks, but yeah, about 90,000 for HP and about 42,000 for shields. Once again, more like a mid-game to early game. You know, nothing spectacular. And what else we got? 5, I think. And this is, of course, the big guy. This is the one that you see me in most of my videos, the Dirndl class. Once again, real easy ship to deal with. Start taking off blocks on the bottom, and you can access the interior of the ship relatively quick. You know, I built these to be fairly accessible to, yeah, see, so you just simply take off the tops and the bottoms if you don't like the design the way it is. You know, max the yaw and the pitch is not what it probably could be, but you can always add on it. And like I said, I'm not one of those people that are OCD, so like the edges don't always line up. If you want to redo those, once again, it's entirely up to you. Once you get the ship designs, do as you wish. So that was Dirndl. I'll fix these a little bit later. They're relatively easy to fix. So this was 5. There's 6. This was, I do believe this is my exploration ship, right? You get the right systems on this thing, especially with the velocity and speed, you can get up over 20,000 meters a second here. So yeah, it's also a 15 slot, I do believe. Yes, 15 slots, very large ship. Of course, once you get it, you can also modify it down, right? You can modify it to the scale of the ship so it's not quite as big, depending on entirely what you do. If you guys don't know that, 1.7 for the hull, and almost just shy of $1 million for shields. So that was 6, and I believe there's the Roid Dozer. I'm not sure if you guys are interested in this thing. This requires, of course, force turrets to use it like I do, which is to push asteroids around. And I think that is, nope, that guy right there. He is this is a carrier designed specifically just to carry fighters. Once again, take off the bottoms, change it out. I think I mounted coaxials on here too, once in a while. But yeah, simple designs. I mean, nothing I build, there's only 124 blocks here. Nothing I build is much more than 200 or 300 blocks. So just something to remember if you're looking for something that's way bigger than this. I build these ships, when I first started out, built them just to be easily taken apart, upgraded, and then, you know, expanded if I need it, because I don't use creative. So like I said, most of these ships are just simple designs when it comes to that. And of course the last, which is a freighter. You can use this probably as a warship if you wanted to. However, it does have a 204,000 for its cargo hold, which is a fair amount. Put the systems upgraded on this thing, and this thing gets I believe close to $500,000, typically what I wanted. And this is a 14 system upgrade. Once again, simple design. This one's kind of similar, close to Dirndl. In fact, I think I just chopped off the edges, and these are actually large cargo pods on the outside edge. Easy design, easy to work with. So I think those are the ones that I've uploaded. I'm going to leave these ones here. I think I'll probably end up demolishing them, or maybe I'll use them. They do cost a fair amount of materials, so I don't really want to be out on that stuff. So with that said, there's the 9 that I uploaded. Just send me a happy, shiny friend request, and I'll, you can, that way you can also jump into any one of these. If I'm playing at whatever, if I'm playing some night, you want to jump into the galaxy, jump in with me and hang out, that's cool too. I'm always looking for new friends, right? So let's get back to what I was doing before I made this video, which was essentially salvaging and destroying, destroying stations, so I can gain material, because I do need more. I always like to have 20 million plus on my for my materials. So hi fellas, so let's jump back over here. We're gonna look at what we're doing over in this part of the neck of the woods. We're back with Dirndl again, and we got, I just never did show you this one. This is my new kind of a salt carrier slash freighter. This thing is pretty good sized. We'll see what this thing is. Yeah, 1.1 million for cargo holds. It carries, this one carries attack fighters and crew shuttles, so it's specifically made to take out stations. And I'm actually short, aren't I? Might have to run and get some stuff here on this one. But yeah, so this is, I have 2 of these actually. This one is just for cargo that I take from and then the other one I use is actually a salvage carrier, and currently that one is here. I wonder if he's actually doing anything. Let's switch to that sector. I think he's actually salvaging right there, but we'll go check him out. Which is great for these large carriers, especially with the new salvage the way they are. These large carriers, or these 2 large carriers. This large carrier, I think it kind of holds right around 25 million material. I've had about 18 million trinium in it before. Yeah, it looks like they pretty much cleaned this sector out here. Let's see, what am I at for materials? About 7 million for trinium, 2 million for Avorion, scrap iron, titanium. Yeah, so she's picked up quite a bit. Let's call our salvage fighters in. We'll move over to the next sector where those other 2 are at, so I can start scrapping some of that stuff. I might build another one of these just for a miner, and come out here and start mining. Have a 4 ships to collect all this crap. Definitely make it easier. So we'll wait till he loads up here, and then we're gonna jump to our other 2. Like I said, we're doing a kind of a jump in, kill, steal, and scrap entire systems. As soon as these guys get loaded. This one I might put up too, if you guys are interested in looking at the, actually building something like this. But this is about almost 9 million trinium just to build this ship. And it's not exactly what you call she's rather piggish, right? I got into the designing the thing and I wasn't really paying attention to the maneuverability. But like I said, being that it's just mostly essentially a freighter with fighters on it, I wasn't terribly worried about it. It doesn't actually do much of the fighting. I do have a fair amount of triple chain gun defenses on here, so this is to deal with fighters and torpedoes. So it's not really, like I said, what you call it. It's not really necessarily a combat ship. That's why I have the Dirndl with me. Alright, picked up all my fighters. Let's jump to the other system and we're going to start scavenging that. She is long. Compared to the actual, the typical ship I use for raiding and all that stuff, these are probably almost twice as long, size-wise, at least. How's everybody Saturday doing? I'm sitting here watching it rain. Alright, we're back. So what do we got there? We have an energy container, energy tube. None of these are anything I really want. There's nothing in them that I could really want to use. I could absolutely care less. So that's why I'm typically right now just we'll jump in him. We're gonna bring him with us. All right, let's go start cleaning the rest of the system out here. These ones are actually almost too small. It's not even worth salvaging by the time you got out here to do it. It would be just ridiculous. Same way with that individual right there. What do we got here? Energy tube factory. 50 kilometers. He's out a ways. We'll come out and get these guys later. Let's just roll in here and see if we can pick up some of these real quick. I'm not even sure I'm going to capture them. The only one I might capture is that one right there, which is the, not the laser head. Which one am I looking at here? The servo factory. I might want some of the servos. However, we're not really interested in the energy carriers. I always have a bunch of those. So let's blow him up. Yep, we knocked him. Didn't get him all. Wow. He did now. Alright. So we'll stick Hilda and Helga. That's the name. We'll stick her on salvage here. Let's see if this thing dropped anything that was worth a damn. These are all trinium ships. It's exactly what I'm looking for. Trinium is always something like, you know, like I said, for the material-wise, is something you're going to use all the time, right? So, was there anything in here that was worth keeping? Cargo that was, should be a nice chunk of trinium, though. A couple stolen transformators. Yeah, not really anything. That's the problem with these stations. Unless you're going to go after like a trading post or a shipyard or dockyard, most of these stations produce almost nothing that's worth a damn. They're almost a waste to even try to send boarding parties on there. However, I think we're going to go board that servo factory. Laserhead factory will destroy you too. They can, laserheads are not really anything that I use. It's for, alright, come on. Alright, he did. So, that's going to be some more trinium for them to salvage. And we're going to go sack that one over there, though. 14 kilometers. Yeah, I can sack that one. Alright, so what do we got here for this guy? I had to kind of tone down some of my rail guns because they really do a number on these. So we're going to turn those guys off and we're just going to go with him. Yeah, he's not much. Let's try not to hit the big part of him. You get too many multiple block hits and they will completely destroy the station. If I penetrate like, say, like 5 blocks, especially these smaller ones. There we go. So we're going to slowly knock him down so we don't lose his actual... This railgun, I think, is only 9,000. So it's relatively small. Alright, so where are you at? There he is. Helga. Yeah, I know. He's got a lot, I think there's like 16-point defenses on here. We'll turn that off. They're, they have a tendency to wreck everything. Alright. Like I said, like a large rhinoceros here. We might have to jump out and hire some crew. I didn't realize I was so low. In fact, we might do that here when I get close. Alright, let's drop some borders. See if we can take this. What do I have for crew on here? I might be able to help them out. Oh yeah. I actually have plenty of crew here. Let's transfer some over to this guy while we're waiting for that to get captured. Servos are always nice because it's typically one of the main materials used for building railguns. Oh, I gotta get so close to make this work. Without scratching the paint, right? That's the key here. There we go. Alright, so I can dump. What about 400 of these? What is up with this? And I think I can dump about 400 of these. That should help. What do I got? 21 crew here. We'll jump over here and see if we can fix our little problem. Still a little low. Let's... Alright, now we're good. So did you take the stupid station yet? We're getting close. Don't touch the paint. Let's see what we got. 2 commanders left. And then we're gonna take. Hopefully there's a bunch of servos. Like I said, I always use servos. There's one of the main ingredients of building railguns. Alright, so we picked that up. Let's get in there and transfer all of our stuff out. And I'll probably end up with junk. It always seems to happen that. What do I have left here? Yeah, I still have a fair amount of borders left. And of course, of course, of course. How come I'm still low here? Thought that would figure that out, but apparently it didn't. So we should be good now. Alright, so that station is absolutely worthless to me. It's not, I can't do... You know, I've been trying to figure out a way to do this so you can get the maximum amount of material out of these stations that you take. And there's really... Yeah. You want to sit on it and rebuild it and all that stuff. You get back the material that you get out of it. However, so most of these stations I don't even bother anymore. Once I get it... once I get my material and my crew off of it, I just blow it up and then salvage it for materials. So let's run over here and see if they pulled anything out of the wreckage. Looks like a lot of junk. Alright, looks like he's going to be busy there for a while. So, is there anything else interesting here other than those little... Yeah, I don't know if that's really worth going after anymore. Not really a lot there. Let's get out of here, and I think we're going to go and see if we can find a bigger system. I'd like to find me a trading post. So we're just going to leave. Of course, the pirates are attacking as I'm here. I love that. It's never ending in this game, right? When you're doing something, it's like they always just seem to show up. That's alright, because it's just more shit I get to salvage. Gotta stop hitting the rocks. And of course the other baddies show up. I can hear them now. There we go. I think it sounds like the some sort of Zotan attack, maybe. Possibly, no. Alright, so we're going to leave him salvage for a while here. We're going to leave... You know what? We'll just bring Helga with us. And we're going to go check ourselves another system. Something that's worth fighting for. Usually trading posts. I really like trading posts. Let's see if there's something in that system that's worth it. It's never ending. So a nice thing when you load your carrier up there with defensive fighters, they do a short work of just about everything. Alright, I think we're clear of baddies. Yep, so Helga is going to escort me to the next system. We'll leave that carrier there just to salvage. Like I said, I'm shooting for about 15 to 20 million trinium before I take it back. I use up a lot of trinium. I go through trinium just ridiculous because it's just, you know, you can use it for almost every block. And it's super lightweight. It's always good. So what do we got here? Biotope. That's it? Couple gates. Alright, and it isn't worth our time or effort to even blow that little guy up. Let's go down and try this out. tribunal. I usually do this like probably once or twice a week. Because like I said, I blow through so much material and it's just speeds it up when I can go out here and get a large chunk at a time. Oh, that stupid gate. It's amazing how you can just get a little too close to it and then it'll suck you through. There's at least one system here, or one thing here in the system. Those chain guns just don't have, I think it's like only 4,000 Omicron with those chain guns. However, they do a doozy on any torpedoes they launch. Yeah, you're a little too close to him. Alright, I think we cleared all the baddies out of the way. So what do we got? Oh, no, never mind. There's our trading post right there. That's the one I'm looking for. So we have to fight our way through some baddies, though. And what's the factory? Ooh, Tesla coil. Nice. And one other. What do we have here? Fusion generator. So this could be a pretty lucrative thing here, even though that doesn't look like they're not very big. I don't even know where to be. Yeah, we'll start out with you. That's the problem. Unless the station is fairly good sized, it's like it's almost not worth that. Well, maybe not. That has some fairly good sized shields on it. 6.4 million. Trinium though, or neonite. The station is. Nah, I can't use more neonite. I really like this railgun. It's something I picked up, something I found actually. It has almost a unreal continuous rate of fire. Doesn't ever overheat really. You can just see the little yellow line goes up a little bit for almost every shot. And then it has pretty decent, I think almost 9,000 Omicron by itself. Alright. Come on, Helga. Let's see, let's take this station. Just turn off those defensive. And we'll generate that one. Tesla coils are also one of those things that's awful nice to have. It's not something that you find a large amount of either. Yeah, Rock Farmer, sorry. I don't have a split screen, so I have to switch back and forth. Once I get to the neonite shield, yeah, I do. And then I go back out because once you're back to the outer systems, because then you can start. Then you're just that much more powerful. So yeah, 1 million to 50 million in the beginning. Yeah, it's not an easy process. What do I got inbound here? Let's turn those on. All right, where's Dirndl? There he is. I'll be honest with you, Rock Farmer. It is not easy to do anymore to get that much credits with the change in the rating. You're gonna actually almost have to do it the old-fashioned way anymore, which is kind of terrible. All right. Yeah, it's the rating with that with the stupid hazard zones. You can only raid so much. And then it's kind of like, well, then what are you going to do, right? To get those massive... I mean, when an early first game, that's what I used to do all the time, is just raid, right? I would make, 100 million in raiding, right? I mean, not that you can't raid anymore, but it's super hard with the changes in the hazard zones. So I'm going to actually probably redo a video on making money in the post-hazard zone time, because it's not easy. Don't get me wrong. You're going to struggle to get the first million, and then the first 100 million, because it's not going to be easy with all of the. It's almost like they wanted to extend the game, right? So you can make so much money by raiding and stuff, but now that you can't, now you're going to have to do other things. You're still trading, you're still doing all that kind of stuff. So it's like it's going to be a little bit more difficult. I do have a couple new games started, so I think I'm probably going to do one of those where I can check it out. Yeah, you just started playing. Yeah, when we first started playing, there was never a hazard zone, so you could raid, like this system right here. I could sit here and just blow up cargo ship after cargo ship, because they would just keep spawning in, right? You could blow up 50 cargo ships. Now you blow up 2 ships, and then it shuts down. No new cargo ships come into the scene, so you can't just sit here like you used to, right? So the early game in the old, before they had hazard zones, you could pull into this place, you could sit here, blow up 50 cargo ships, steal everything out of them, and walk out of here with, this ship here, I believe, has 500 or 59,200. That cargo hold would be completely full, and I would have containers stacked on the outside of the thing here for over 200,000 cargo hold, and that'd be completely filled full of stuff I stole, right? You can't do that anymore with the hazard zones. That I've been able to find a way to get around it. Maybe somebody else knows how to get around it, but as soon as something gets blown up into the system, I think there's at least 2 ships get blown up or boarded, then it becomes a hazard zone, and then it tells every other ship to stay away. So then you don't get the huge influx of freighters that you used to be able to raid. Yeah, so that was the easiest way to make money in early game, was that you would get the Neonite region, get your shields, get, say, 10,000 hull, 10,000 shields, go back to where you started, and then just raid the shit out of everything and make a ton of cash, right? And then you could progress further because you could buy better upgrades for your ship. And that just doesn't happen now, unfortunately. But I will find a way around it. I swear to God, it's just a matter of getting that figured out, how that works. And maybe it's this new boarding thing that's going to be the way to go. I don't know. I haven't really gone out to the outside sectors to see how many. I know it takes around 50 or 60 to board a ship. So, but yeah, I was a big raider, and I still love raiding. So I'm going to have to figure out a way to do this whole raiding thing again, with the changes in the hazard zone. Well, I hope you enjoyed the game, Rock. It's probably one of my it's yeah. 2018, this was easily my favorite game. And if this was a bigger video game company, this thing would be, in my opinion, huge. See how the hazard zones are down? So once the hazard zone's in place, it's like, it seems to be about an hour or maybe more before ships start coming back in. You know, like, so if you blow up a ship, 2 ships, and the hazard zone goes on, it seems about, like, to be about maybe an hour before it's done. And then once you blow 2 more ships up, then you have another hour where there's no more ships spawning. So it's kind of a pain in the butt. Okay, that looks like he's about ready to... 2 commanders left. That's probably only a couple generals there. Let's jump in Helga. Get my raiders back. And yeah, we're gonna go sack that. We're gonna go sack that trading post. 7 generals? Wow, that station does not look that big that would have that much crew. I didn't think it had that much. That's 4.28 million shield. That's actually, for its size, that's amazing. Let's repair this. 741,000 trinium. Yeah, we'll wait till we repair that. We'll see if we can regen some of that before we repair. I don't like putting out almost 1 million trinium just to repair this. That's the problem with those headhunters, is they have torpedoes that ignore shields. Excuse me. I'm actually gonna have a video on torpedoes and the differences in torpedoes, because there is a big difference. I was never into sandbox games, Rock, so this was my first real sandbox game. So, but like I said, I really do enjoy it. Let's jump into him. There's inbound baddies. Where are you at? Oh, they're way over there. I won't even dick with them yet. All right, so let's get our borders back before something strange happens, like they destroy this thing. And maybe possibly get some Tesla coils out of this deal. That'd be pretty sweet if we ever actually did something like that. Nope. There we go. Military, industrial, and some scrap metal. That's all nice and dandy. Alright, so everything's back on board here. Oh, I got a lot of stolen stuff yet. Just not enough. I usually like to fill this completely up here. Alright, 1934 borders. So 710 level 3s. I'm going to try to keep those guys. I don't really want to lose those. Alright, so let's blow this station. Let's blow this popsicle stand. Are these guys actually coming over here? Of course they are. You would think with railguns that have no... it'd be easier to hit things. That's the one thing I really wish they would do about this, would get a little bit better sighting. Where you can... you would think with a starship you could be able to zoom out to 17 kilometers and see what you're shooting at. Instead of kind of turkey shooting this, you know, pull type thing. That might be outreach my railguns. Nope, not quite. We could put the big guys on. Those are 250,000 Omicron railguns, the 2 coaxials. So they have a pretty nice range. Anti-grav. We might sack that one too. Alright, let's blow this station, and we're going to go sack that. We'll go sack that trading post. Alright, we'll leave him and come back to get him when we bring the salvage carrier here. Let's grab some pieces here if we can. Is there anything there? Nope, can't pick anything up yet. Alright. Come on. Alright, so hopefully this is going to be a pretty good size, and he has no shields. So we're going to have to be kind of careful about this. I don't really want to one-shot him. I've did that a couple times. I forget to turn off my big railguns. I put this smaller one on here specifically to shoot. Ooh, he might be made out of titanium. I need titanium. That's one thing nice about railguns. It just seems to... every time it penetrates a block, it does full damage. So it's just eating that thing away. It's also made out of titanium, so this is... it's not terribly well armored. Let's get him down to around that 25%. Actually, I think you only do 30%. Yeah. Alright. Let's take that station. This seems to be the most lucrative, is shipyards, repair, docks, and these trading posts. If you want actual material, they're usually loaded. Typically like individual factories like Teslas and stuff like that. There never seems to be much on them other than scrap and maybe like 5 or 6. You know, that last one I was lucky to actually had 200 and some Teslas, but most of the time you board them and there's almost nothing there. Let's see here. Oh, they're still screwing around over there. Pirates are attacking now. We'll let them have at that station for a while. Let's go see what the pirates are doing. This is why I use 3 ships. I always like to have the one just for dealing with pirates and whatnot. Normally you could just do it with 1 ship. I mean, honestly, I could do it with this ship, but I wouldn't be able to carry near as much either. I mean, that's 1.1 million cargo, and this is only 59,000. So I wouldn't be able to sit out here for long periods of time. I just wouldn't have the cargo space for it. So that's why I built these large cargo carriers, so I can steal for a long time. I mean, it'll take me probably, I might have to go through like 5 or 6 systems before I'll be completely full with material and anything I hijack or steal or capture. Can you make hangers out of neonite? Yeah, no. I think you need trinium. I think you need trinium. Nope. You need to get to, yep, trinium before you get hangers. Good question. And honestly, though, when you're doing the trinium level, to get for the fighters and all that kind of stuff, it's it'll definitely be helpful. You know, especially for the scavenging part of it. I don't use like individual salvage ships or individual mining ships. Almost everything I do is with salvage fighters and salvage and mining fighters. You know, it still has the, as far as I consider, you know, the AI has improved a bunch, but the getting trapped inside of an asteroid and then have to go and fetch your ship because the AI can't figure out how to get out of the asteroid field, it gets super annoying. But like I said, it's been a while since I've actually had to deal with any of that stuff. I typically only use mining fighters and mining fighters and salvage fighters. They just seem to work better. I wonder if that other ship is done stripping that system yet. Fusion generator. How much we got left on this guy? 7 commanders. Looks like they're too busy doing their own junk over there here. So let's just jump out here. See if we can pick up another something else to the next sector that we might go to. Yeah. Well, this is typically this galaxy that I use here, or the one I play on here, is kind of one I just screw around in. I try new things, try new, you know. So it's always kind of a fun galaxy to play, and I have like 3 or 4 games going at one time usually. So there is a trading post there. That's nice. It's made out of neonite. Looks like that's. So there's one trading post. Let's see if we can find something else here to go after. Ooh, system's got some shit in it. Wheat farm, steel factory, turret factory, carbon extractor. So, like, actual materials that I want out of this system is not anything like, you know, like actual goods. However, those stations look to be built out of mostly trinium. So we're gonna sack this just for materials. So there's what I'm talking about. So that now that the hazard zone's on, now you can't do. Now there's no more spawns of the NPCs. What do we have here? That one's actually a pretty good size. It's a wood farm. Nothing that I want. We'll just blow this cargo ship up. See if there's anything there. He's probably got wood. Literally. It's always such a great thing. He was actually made out of iron too. So this system, nope, we got inbound. And this is a new thing too. With the, as soon as you start attacking a system, like there's a whole fleet jumps in and they all want to fight. So early game, this would be hard, right? If you were an early game player and you didn't have a very powerful ship, having to deal with, say, 4 or 5 cruisers, and then all of a sudden here comes a bunch of, you know, battleships and shit that are going to try to screw you up. It's not easy. But like I said, if you're starting out, the easiest way is just try to make your way to the neonite system as quick as possible. Get your shields up and then start working on getting some the 2 boss fights. 1 boss fight and the smuggler taken out of the place. Because those 2 right there, those 2 artifacts you find make a huge difference in how the game's going to be played. Or it makes it a lot easier to play the game. Alright, let's jump back over there. So we got a couple places scouted here. Yeah. Like I said, the AIs have gotten a lot better. It's just every occasionally they still screw up and then end up sitting inside of a. They still end up getting stuck. At least that's in my opinion. But you know, some people have better luck with them than I do. It also depends on what size of how big you make the mining ship. If it's super big, you get stuck easier. But then at the same time, with the new salvage and the raw material type stuff, you need a large cargo bay. All right, back in here. Let's knock these guys out so I don't have to deal with them. See if they take that station yet. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Alright, so that station over there is taken. Let's jump over there to Helga. And we'll see what we get off this station. I don't even want to bump it. Oh, yes. Nothing like, not a huge amount of stuff, but all stuff that's gonna be, that's all stuff that you can use. I mean, obviously tea, but what the hell. It was worthwhile to actually do that. Alright, so we're all here. Let's drop a couple fighters here to finish that station off so we can salvage it. Oh, come on, fellas, attack it. They won't. They probably won't. Of course they probably won't. Alright. We'll bring them back in. Get the Dirndl out here. So apparently Hilda's done salvaging that system, and we'll go get her and bring her over here and work on this system for a little while. It's a fusion generator factory. I wonder, like I said, I wonder if it's actually even worth it. Alright. Let's go drop the last of these stations, and then we'll bring that other ship in to salvage the station, the system, and then be on our way. Have him escort me. I don't think there's anything here really worth keeping. Yeah, we'll swing by there and see if there's anything actually in it. You know what? Let's bring... Oh, there she is. So let's cannon chain after persistent salvaging. Yeah, figures. Now there is some stuff there. Let's see if there's anything worth it. Typically, like you said, it depends on how big the station is, whether it's not worth it or to actually, you know. Let's see actually how many fusion generators are here. I don't want to waste a bunch of 77, 135. I swear to God, if I actually would have taken this station, I probably would have got 3 or something stupid like that. It always seems like there's more there after you actually do something like this. Alright, let's do the one more station here. How about we just go pick her up for some reason? The Enchained Command is not... I really like the Enchained Command things, but it seems like it doesn't work every time. Just a small dinky one. Oh, so you don't use the actual... You're not using the raw... salvage. You're using the ones that I get it. I get it. Alright, let's Yeah, that would probably work a lot easier than having. So you're getting like 14-15% efficiency. We'll jump out of there and bring the salvage over here. Start salvaging these stations. Well, it is 5:30, so I think I'm going to jump this guy in here, and then we're going to call it good for the day. I got some more videos coming up. I'll do some torpedo videos and that kind of stuff, and I'll hopefully get that making money thing done too. I'll have to go back and start over from the beginning and do that. So with that said, guys, thanks for watching, and we will keep this up. I hopefully try to do the streams more often. So thanks for watching, guys, once again, and subscribing to watch once everything is going on. So